Okay, as you notice, there are two little flourishes for this little fancy move. Notice I have the deck in mechanics grip. I hold it in mechanics grip. I'll jog the top card, the index, bring it all the way at the bottom, just like that. Move the middle finger away when you move it to the bottom. So when you want to move it to the top, the audio card, you want to push it up a little. You have to just push it like that. Right before you pinch it against the deck, you have to let it go. Just push it up with the index. But when you push it up, you will also will let it go. So when you want to give it away, also the top card has to be agile. I'm using the thumb and middle and third finger. You have to relax, and right before you end up pinching the card, you have to also let go with the index. Okay, so you don't pinch the card against the deck. So once you already have these two flourishes very well done, the nice thing is you can combine them, and you don't need to use both as combination, but at least you can use only one flourish, so you don't have to combine them. Or you can just throw it like that to the spectator in case you want something else. You don't supposed to throw it just for no reason. I mean, you want them to sign the card, for example, and you can give it away. Again, I'll jog the top card and bring it all the way at the bottom. Always the index is pushing against the deck all the way around to the bottom, and just move the middle finger out of the way when you bring it all the way down. Okay. Now, when you want to toss it to the top, make sure you open the second and third finger. So otherwise, when you move it, it's gonna be tilt, and then the card is not gonna spin quite even. It's better when the card is spin even. In this case, notice how the card spin little twist. I mean, maybe it doesn't look too bad, but it looks much better if it's perfectly square. So the card can spin like that. Okay, because if it's gonna spin like that weird, maybe it's not gonna look as good as the one spin square. Now notice the difference when the card spin kind of twist. You see, it is a little bit twist, but check this other way. When the card spin as even as possible, it looks much better. Also, be careful to measure the pressure. Pushing a little bit with the index is pushing against the deck, but when the card is about to shoot up, you have to let it go with the index. Okay, but you want it to be also like that, not like that, but like that, parallel with a completely very clear, with the deck aligned with the deck. Okay, so it doesn't shoot up diagonally. You want it to shoot up really square, because the more even, the better looking. But I mean, there are too many things you can do with this move. And let's say you have two kings, in case you want to do a sandwich routine. You do false cuts and any other move. You appear the two kings and then move the king to the top, and then proceed, to the routine. Or the second move, you can pop up the top card and then give it away. So when you have this move, you need to adjust the card and then shoot it out. Okay. Now notice for this second flourish, I have a second, third, and fourth finger, and the whole thumb and the flesh of it right under, holding the card. Right before it reaches the end point, before you pinch it, you have to let it go with the index as well. This is the end point. This is where you have to let it go. So the pressure allows the card to keep flying. Now, not all the time it's gonna be a perfect shooting, but maybe it's not really part of the performance. It's just trying to get the cutaway. You have to calibrate or measure the right height and the right pressure, so it's gonna land really square and nice. Now, I don't think shooting the card like that is gonna look rude, for the audience. Now, before you let it go, make sure it is nice and square. Line, the pressure is completely even on the edge of the deck, so it shoot out pretty even. I mean, if it bounces, it's okay. Doesn't matter, as long as you get the point. Okay, so one last time for our first flourish. Okay, so I'll jog the top card, bring it down with an index finger, catch it against the deck, or push it against the deck, so it doesn't fly away. Bring it all the way down, move the middle finger away. Before and after you shoot it, make sure you push it up quite even. As you notice, the middle finger, if I don't open it before I shoot it, it's gonna it may disturb the direction of the flipping. So when I move the card to the top, I let it go before I clip it against the deck. Okay. You can swing a little if you want. The more even, the better looking. Now maybe when you do this flourish, in and of itself doesn't look too good. At least you combine them, with a shooting. Sometimes you don't need to shoot it to the audience. You just wanna keep it on top, or you can shoot it out, Now to shoot it out, the second flourish, bring it down, and before you reach the end point, which is in the front of the deck, before you end up pinching it or clipping it against the deck, you have to let it go with the index too. You need to create some tension before you let it go, a little bit. Right before, you end up like that. Let it go. You have to measure how high you want your hand to be, so it's gonna have a little nice landing, so it also doesn't bounce too much, like that.